Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender is a great movie with stunning visuals to complement it. But what if I told you it could have been better? It's true, I'm not even exaggerating. The Aang movie had many deleted scenes and concepts that would have enhanced and even fleshed out the story that unfortunately didn't quite make the final cut. We learned about these deleted scenes in a variety of different ways. Artists finally getting the shackles taken off and able to show off their work that they put in for the movie, interviews with the creators, and statements made from the directors. Today, I'm going to be scouring every single interview, tweet, statement, anything related to the movie at all, and I'm going to compile everything that they said about deleted scenes or concepts about the movie. It took me way too long to find all of this information, so leave a like for the effort and let's get into it. Suki practically wasn't in this movie at all outside of a 2-second cameo, and that has a lot of people upset. Some going as far to say that she was more part of Team Avatar than Zuko, so her not being in the movie felt odd. Well, Suki was originally going to be in the movie. We do have a couple of statements about this, one from one of the co-creators of Avatar, Michael Dante DiMartino himself, and the other from the director of the movie, Laurent Montgomery. This information comes from an interview with Variety, where they asked the creators of Avatar and the director of the movie if there were any ideas that didn't make it into the final cut, to which Michael Dante DiMartino took his chance to quickly address all of the Suki stuff, saying that he knows fans are upset that Suki wasn't in the movie, besides the cameo at the end, but they tried multiple versions with Suki in the movie. But ultimately, it came down to only having 85 minutes of screen time to tell the whole story. And they were already having a hard time fitting the main characters into the movie, and adding Suki in there would have just made things much harder. And then he says that the Kyoshi warriors were just off saving other people during the events of the movie. I mean, yeah, sure, this kinda has to be the case. We see Suki at the end of the movie in Republic City. It would have been weird if she was just there during the final battle with Tagah and just didn't help out. I actually think fans would have been happy if they showed her literally just one other time, like maybe helping people out in the final battle, escorting people out of the city, or maybe she takes down one of Tagah's henchmen. We didn't need to have her in the whole finding Team Avatar section at the beginning. She could have just showed up, had a good cameo instead of this little thing at the end, and people would have been happy. Speaking of Tagah, he was actually going to be a little different. Okay, maybe more than a little different. In February 2023, during full swing production, not development, actual production, Tagah was still a completely different character. He was an earthbender named Hulong. I think it's just so crazy that you finish development, you start production, it's February 2023, you started in 2021, and we're still doing character concept designs for the villain. This whole starting production in 2023 thing, that's not me saying that. That's straight from Paramount themselves with the copyright listing. Like, this isn't a small thing. This is the villain of the movie. Him being an earthbender versus him being an airbender fundamentally changes the movie. There's no longer this brother stuff between Tagah and Aang. He's not going to relate to Aang anymore. It changes a lot of things. So to be making changes that big in full swing production is kind of crazy. Anyway, I was just shocked to learn that. Looking at the villain's original design concepts, there's a lot here. He's a lot more cartoonishly evil looking than Tagah. His outfit almost doesn't look like he's from the Earth Kingdom, even though he is. There's a lot of orange and red in his outfit, which is something you typically don't see in the Earth Nation. It kind of makes me wonder if this guy was in some way related to the Airbenders. Who knows, maybe this guy is from Tagah's time as well, and he's the leader of the Earthbenders that attacked Jirana. Instead of Tagah stealing the staff, it's the Earthbenders leader. I mean, everything kinda works the same still. He can still have an epic battle with Sonam. He can still be locked at the top of the mountain. It would have been a little weird. He would have to come up with a way for Aang to trust him and to actually believe that he wants to also restore the air nomads. But it could still work with some creative writing. But yeah, they clearly made the right choice going with Tagah instead. Also, this concept art of Tagah right here, ChatGPT is a hell of a source. That's all I'm going to say about that. As you guys can see, they went through many different iterations of Tagah. This one looks like he has the Reaper death seal on his stomach from Naruto. I feel like normally whenever I see unused concept designs of a character, I'll see one and I'll think to myself, that would have been pretty cool to see in the final version. I can't say that for any of these. The Tagah we got is so much better than anything they've shown off so far. The other Suki scene comes straight from the director of the movie, and probably to nobody's surprise, the scene was going to be Aang focused. And honestly, this probably would have been the most impactful scene in the movie. I'm kind of mind blown they had it cut. The There was a scene that I really loved that didn't quite make it into the final film, and it was of this parade that was the celebration of Republic City. It was so beautiful, you saw a lot of fun Easter eggs of people. I think King Kwai was there, Suki was there with the Kyoshi warriors, and it was this magnificent celebration of everybody celebrating their cultures. And then the final person in the parade is Aang on Appa, and it becomes a perspective shift where you realize what is so joyous for everyone is very isolating for Aang, and he never feels more alone than in this moment, where everyone else can celebrate with their culture and his is absent. I can't believe this was removed. This is actually straight fire. One of the main criticisms I have for the movie is that the entire thing is kind of Aang learning a lesson that he already learned when he was 12, but if you had this parade be at the start of the movie, letting Aang sit with these emotions to give him that motivation to start reconnecting with his culture on a deeper level than he ever has been, then you could tie that to him restoring the air temples, finding the denied, etc. You have all of that still. I'm not saying it would have been perfect or anything like that, but I think it would have tied things together very nicely. Another Aang related concept that was cut from the movie, and I heard this was cut pretty late in the game as well, was with Katara and him having a child. Now, this was a rumor for a long time. Many years now people have talked about this, but it was actually recently confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con, where they showed off production material of Katara being pregnant. The design is super similar to the one we got in the movie, you know, without the whole baby being there. I like how they even kept the protective belt around her stomach in the final version. But anyway, why was this removed? Well, Mike and Brian both commented on this. Mike said it felt a little too mature and a little too fast, maturing from teenagers to now being in their 20s, so they went back on that idea. Brian, on the other hand, gave a bit more of a detailed answer, and I really like his response. Essentially, what Brian said is this is a movie about Aang trying to hold on and restore his culture by bringing back the Airbenders. It made it look like him having a child with Katara wasn't in his best interest. It had weird connotations. And they wanted Aang and Katara to have a child because that's what the characters wanted to do, not because Katara needed to give birth to an Airbender. He says that the director of the film was actually the one who pointed out that maybe this wasn't needed, and they both agreed. Also pointing out that it probably wouldn't have been a great idea to have her getting into big battles with Tagah with this giant pregnant belly. And yeah, I mean, Spider-Verse did it and people didn't really take that one too great. And now this last one is an animation test from early on in development of Katara. I know this isn't a deleted scene, but I figured I'd add it in here because of how interesting it is. I see a lot of people pointing out that the movie, although it looks beautiful and it's amazingly animated, it just doesn't look like Avatar. A lot of the key features of Avatar characters aren't there anymore. The short, wide noses, they were replaced for long noses. The rounder faces have been replaced for long, chiseled faces. And this animation test kind of looks like a mix between what we got in the movie and what we had in the original series. I would have loved the movie to look like this. I don't have any issues with the final version we got. I think it looks visually stunning, but if the movie looked like this, I definitely wouldn't be complaining. And I do get the criticism, you know, people, they grow up and they don't just magically look like different people. You can tell it's them. They keep a lot of the same features they had when they were younger into their older ages. So I get why people are mad, but it's not a big deal to me. Anyways, if you guys want to check out similar videos, every deleted scene in Avatar, you want to click right here. And if you want to learn about the canceled season 4 of Avatar, then click